Well, hello once again, all my YouTube browsers and subscribers, and if you're a first-time visitor to my channel, I do hope you find something here to amuse you with regards to looking at these old classic dirt bikes. Now, coming up in this next clip, we have been delving into my archives once again, and we're going to bring you some classic racing from the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club, and this was their round 4 event that was held at Thornhill in Dumfries in 2015. So I do hope you enjoy taking a look at some of these old motocross machines on the racetrack. Okay, enough chitty chat from me just now. Let's just jump straight into race 1. Yes, and this first race is the combined pre-60s, pre-70s and pre-1975 class up to 300cc. Now this will be a 4-lap race for these old classic bikes, and as they leave the line, a very good start by Lewis Bell, number 9 on that 1959 Tribsa 650. Andrew King is second there on the HIS Stormer, as the rest of the pack make their way through to start at lap 1. Now the weather at this point pretty decent for a mid-July summer's afternoon here at Thornhill, but we do have some rain in the pipeline for later in the day, so hopefully that won't spoil proceedings too much. So we're just about to pick up our race leader, which is number 9. That's Lewis Bell, who is riding that 1959 650 Tribsa, the Triumph engine with the BSA frame. In second position is Lewis's brother Liston, who is on the 1964 Triumph Matisse. Third is Andrew King. Fourth is Derek McCauley, just going through there on the Bultaco. Number 46 there is Dougie Meek. Number 113 going through, that's Billy Chisholm, riding a CZ, but most of these riders enjoying this beautiful track layout here at Thornhill. So on lap 2, it's still number 9, Lewis Bell, who leads his older brother Liston in second position. Andrew King is still in there in third on the HIS Stormer, with what looks like Derek McCauley in fourth on the Bultaco. So as they cross the line to complete another lap, it's still Lewis Bell leads Liston Bell. At number 293 there is Andrew King on that Charlie Robertson HIS Stormer machine. Number 46 on the left is Dougie Meek, having a good battle there with young Daniel McNally. Number 22 is Darryl Wiley. Number 62 is Chris Weatheritt on that quite unusual hybrid CZ machine. Number 40 there is Colin Flockhart on the Husqvarna 250. So as we look at our race leaders, it's still Lewis Bell who is your race leader. It looks like his older brother Liston just about caught his leg on one of the track posts there, but it seems to be okay. But it's still at number 9 Lewis Bell, who is heading on his last lap on that 650 Tribsa. Second is still Liston there on the Matisse. Third position is still Andrew King. Dougie Meek going through there again, but as they head towards the checkered flag on the final lap, it looks like it's still advantage at number 9 Lewis Bell, but Liston is giving his younger brother a good fight to the finish line as they complete the last 2 or 3 turns, but it's going to be a win for number 9 Lewis Bell. Liston is almost side by side as they cross the checkered flag, but it's a good win for his young brother Lewis Bell. Okay, next up we have the pre-1965 up to and over 350cc, and you can see that those rain clouds are beginning to form over the hills in the background here at Thornhill, so hopefully it won't spoil the racing too much. So we're just waiting on our official starter, David Hillis, letting the bikes loose from the start line. As they leave the line, it's a very good start by Peter Dobinson, number 41 there on the Triumph, but once again it looks like one of the Bell brothers, that's Liston Bell, who has taken the early lead. In third position there, Scott Maxwell riding that big 500 matchless bike, and as they all safely make the first 2 or 3 turns to begin this lap 1. So as they emerge from the bottom section of the track, it's still Liston Bell, your race leader. Second is Scott Maxwell. Third is Peter Dobinson. Fourth is Martin Stitt. And at number 12 there, that's Barry McKee on that BSA with the CZ frame, a BSA 500 motor sitting inside the CZ frame. But here is your race leader. It's number 98, Liston Bell, who of course did very well in that first race against his younger brother. Number 58 is Scott Maxwell in second. Martin Stitt is in third. Peter Dobinson is in fourth. Barry McKee is in fifth position on that hybrid bike, as the rest of the chasing pack make their way up the hill. Number 89 there, that's Mike Bell, that's the father of Lewis and Liston Bell. So here is your race leader. Surprisingly, it's still Liston Bell on that Matisse Triumph, who is your race leader. Once again, only 4 laps for these old vintage bikes. Of course, we don't cover each and every lap, but these are certainly the highlights of each individual race. So it's number 98, Liston Bell, who is your race leader. Second is still Scott Maxwell on that 500 matchless Matisse. A very quick old bike, this of Scott's. Third position is still Martin Stitt from Northern Ireland. We're looking at number 164, that's Stuart Riddle on the twin port CZ. Once again, Mike Bell just going through there. Number 119, unfortunately, is not listed in the racing programme. So we are currently looking at second place position rider Scott Maxwell, number 58. Liston Bell has already crossed the line to start his last and final lap, but this time Scott riding this matchless 500, and Scott also rides a very quick CCM machine, and hopefully we may get a chance to see Scott on that bike later in this particular video. So number 164 again, Stuart Riddle just going through on that beautiful twin port CZ machine. But it's the second win of the day for number 98, that's Liston Bell. Okay, next up, this is race 3, and this is the pre-1975s over 300cc class. Quite a good lineup of riders for this particular class. We're just waiting on the travelling marshal telling our race starter that the track is clear. So as they leave the line, it's a good start by Stephen McNally on that 400 Kawasaki, and this is the bike that you can see in my next video here on Classic Dirt Bike TV. So as they head up the hill for lap 1, it looks like number 9 there, Lewis Bell's not got a very good start on his CCM this time round, but it looks like Jim Allison is your new race leader. And so as the riders emerge from the river section at the bottom of the track, it looks like it could be number 153. Yes, it is Jim Allison on that 1974 CCM, who is your race leader. Now Lewis Bell is already up to second position from a very bad start on lap 1, so this could be a very good race between these two Alan Clues CCM bikes. So as they cross the line for lap 1, it's still Jim Allison, but Lewis Bell is going round the outside and is your new race leader as they start lap 2. In third position is number 80 there, I think that's Andy Alston on the Honda. But this man here, number 58, Scott Maxwell on the CCM, has looks like he's been left at the start in this race, so he's got a lot of work to do to catch up with the front runners. So it's still Lewis Bell first, second is Jim Allison, third place there is number 113, that's Billy Chisholm on the CZ, but Billy's just been passed by Andy Alston. It looks like there's been a coming together between Les Calderwood and Scott Maxwell. Scott, of course, was trying to make up places after being left at the start, but it looks like he's collided with Les Calderwood's CCM bike. So we're looking at a race leader as he comes round to complete another lap. It's number 9, Lewis Bell in first position. Second is this man here, number 153, Jim Allison. Number 80 is Andy Alston on the 4-stroke Honda, and Billy Chisholm trying to challenge for that track position on the CZ bike. Now number 585 at the back there on the CZ, that looks like that's Steve Dent. So it looks like it's going to be a win for number 9, Lewis Bell on the 1974 CCM bike. These are very quick 4-stroke machines, these Alan Clues bikes. So it's a win for number 9, Lewis Bell. Second is going to be Jim Allison here, number 153, also riding a 74 CCM, and Billy Chisholm does a big wheelie as he finishes in third position. But it looks like Les Calderwood's up and walking about there after that collision. Les looks like he's a bit winded, but nevertheless looks okay. Give us a wave, Les. He's some character, Les Calderwood. So up next we have the pre-1984 class, or the Twin Shock class as it used to be known a few years ago. A very good lineup of riders for this. And as I leave the line, it's a good start by number 156. That's David Bateman on the 1982 XR500 Honda. Second position there is Chris Cannon on the Suzuki, as the rest of the riders make their way to begin this first lap. Oh, looks like we've got a faller there. That's Ian Robertson there on his YZ 490 Yamaha. So we're just looking at our race leaders, and it seems we've got a change of rider at the front. It's number 97, that's Russell Watson, riding that very quick 1983 480 Honda. Now you may remember in some of my previous videos how I used to sing the praises about how quick these 83 480s were, and Russell riding this particular bike just is a good example of just how quick these bikes can go. Chris Cannon is in second position there as the rest of the riders make their way up the hill. Bill Porteous just going through there on the YZ Yamaha. Glenn Wilson just crossing there in the Husqvarna, and David Lamb is just coming up here riding that 490 Michael. Looks like Gordon Forbes has had a slight spill. Now unfortunately this pre-1984 class race has had to be restarted due to a fallen rider blocking the track, so this is the restart, which will be just a couple of laps. So as they leave the line, it's Russell Watson once again on that 480 Honda who takes the early lead and leads the pack up the hill to the far side of the Thornhill racetrack. Thankfully the rain as such is not materialised as yet, so thankfully the track in great condition. So it's still at number 97, Russell Watson, your race leader. Second is Nigel Sowerby on the Michael. Third is Chris Cannon on that RM 400 Suzuki. So as they come around to complete the lap of this restart of this pre-1984 class race, it's still Russell Watson who's your race leader on the 480 Honda. Looks like Robert Kennedy Jr. there has a problem with his CCM bike. So we're just waiting on the rest of the riders crossing the line. That's Gordon Forbes once again, number 19, just heading through. So as it stands in this restart of the pre-1984 class race, it's still number 97, Russell Watson on the two-stroke 480 Honda. Second is still Nigel Sowerby. Third is Chris Cannon. Fourth there is Ian Robertson, who unfortunately we sadly lost to a tragic accident in 2019. And so it's still the flying Russell Watson who's still your race leader, and he's just passing Alistair Brown there on the Husqvarna. So as Russell Watson comes round to start his last and final lap here of the pre-1984 class race. This of course is a restart of the earlier race due to a rider blocking the racetrack. So it's Russell Watson, your race leader. Second is still Nigel Sowerby. Third is Chris Cannon on that very quick RM400 twin shock Suzuki. As these riders head up there, it looks like Alistair Brown is taking a little fall on his Husqvarna. And number 52 there is Bill Porteous on his YZ Yamaha. But it's been a very good run by this man here, Russell Watson, on his two-stroke Honda 480. So it's a very good and very well-deserved win for Russell Watson as he comes up to cross the line to take the win in this first pre-1984 class race of the day. Now number 647 there, that's Adam Purdom on the TTM. That's a micro frame with a Yamaha 4-stroke motor inside. Okay, we're back to the combined pre-60s and pre-70s and pre-75s up to 300cc. Now, you remember we had a very good race between the Bell brothers in race 1. So look out for more of the same in this race 4. So once again we're waiting on our official starter, David Hillis, getting the OK from the travelling marshal to say that the track is clear, and it looks like we're good to go. So as they leave the line, looks like a good start once again by Lewis Bell. Second, it looks like it's Andrew King on the HIS Stormer. Young Daniel McNally's made a good start there on the Husqvarna as they all head up the hill to begin lap 1. And once again it's Lewis Bell on the very quick 650 Tribsa, who is your race leader. The lovely Triumph engine inside the BSA frame. Looks like Lewis's brother Liston has now moved up to third position as the rest of the riders make their way through to finish lap 1. But a good battle now developing between the two Bell brothers of Liston and Lewis, and it looks like Liston has the advantage as they begin this lap 2, and it looks like the rain is now beginning to fall here at Thornhill, so hopefully the rain won't get too heavy. Number 82 there, that is Les Morrison on the 1970 250 CZ. Now remember, only 4 laps for these old classic bikes as the rain now begins to fall on this Townfoot Farm racetrack here at Thornhill, and it's still Liston Bell, your race leader. Second is Lewis Bell as they begin their last and final lap, but the track now beginning to get a bit slippier with the rain starting to fall. Andrew King is still in third position, so we're just looking to the far side of the track to pick up some of the other riders who are taking part in this race 4. Now number 40 there on the right hand side is Colin Flockhart on the 1975 250 Husqvarna. Number 22 just going through is Darrell Wiley on that 4-stroke 250 Honda. But here is your race leaders as they head towards the checkered flag. It looks like it's going to be a win for number 98 Liston Bell. Second position looks like it's going to go to his younger sibling Lewis Bell as they cross the line, and the rain still beginning to fall quite hard here at Thornhill. Number 13 there is Daniel McNally on the 250 Husqvarna bike. But getting very wet as the conditions deteriorate here at Thornhill as we just watch the last of the riders crossing the checkered flag. Okay, we're going to finish this video with a look at race 5. This is the second race for the pre-65s up to and over 350cc. And as the riders make their way up the hill, conditions could be slightly different from the previous race that these guys took part in due to the heavy rain, but it looks like everybody's safely negotiated the first 2 or 3 turns. Number 98, Liston Bell, who is having an absolutely fantastic day here at Thornhill, is your race leader. Second, it looks like it's Martin Stitt, who is in second position from Northern Ireland on the BSA 500. So as they complete lap 1, it's Liston Bell leads Martin Stitt. Third position there is Scott Maxwell, again riding that big 500cc matchless Matisse bike. And it looks like Scott has moved up into second position, but Martin Stitt is still giving a good account of himself in third position. But as you can see, the weather conditions here at Townfoot Farm in Thornhill getting wetter by the minute as the rain continues to fall. Now your race leader's just gone through there, Liston Bell. Second is this man here, number 58, that's Scott Maxwell, the son of Joe Maxwell, of course, who has Joe Maxwell Engineering, and he builds those replica 1974 CCM bikes. But Scott Maxwell is doing really well here in second position as the track begins to get slippier by the minute, but nevertheless this big 4-stroke matchless will be perfectly suited for these wet conditions. Now this 2015 race event here at Thornhill was the 25th running of the Thornhill Scramble, and of course the guest of honour at this particular event this weekend was none other than the legendary CCM rider Mike Barnes. Okay, number 0 there just coming towards us, that's Ken Suter on the big Jawa. But we're looking at number 58, that's Scott Maxwell in second position, and actually I think it's Harry Stitt who's in third position and not his father Martin, as I mentioned earlier, so I do apologise to Harry for that particular mistake. So it's Scott Maxwell here in second position as he starts his last and final lap. In third position close behind is Northern Ireland's Harry Stitt there, just going through on that Triumph, but a very close race between second and third. So as the riders make their way up the hill, it looks like Helen Cahill's got some trouble with her BSA. So here's your race leader as he heads towards the checkered flag. It's going to be another win for Liston Bell. Second is going to be Scott Maxwell. Harry Stitt there, number 711 on the Triumph is in third position. Harry, of course, has travelled over from Northern Ireland for this Thornhill Scramble, but it's a win for Liston Bell. Second is going to be Scott Maxwell, with a third position going to Harry Stitt. Well, I do hope you enjoyed that very short clip from the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club's event at Thornhill and Dumfries back in 2015. Now, coming up in my next video posting, we'll be taking a look at this quite nice 1975 KX 400 Kawasaki that belongs to Scottish rider Stephen McNally. So I do hope you'll return to see that particular video. So once again, thank you very much for your support of my channel, and we'll speak again very soon when we all return to Classic Dirt Bike TV.